In the previous videos, we mentioned about validations and verifications of the results in order to determine the reliability and accuracy of the results before you can proceed with your interpretations and discussions to acquire the findings out of your investigation program for your research topic. This is a significant process in order to ensure that what you have acquired from the result is able to represent the actual situations that you are studying. Now the next question is, what is the verifications and what is the validations? Normally we use these two terminologies interchangeably as if they are referring to the same thing. I would say that the purpose is more or less the same, which you want to determine the reliability of something that you have acquired, or some theories or principles, or some analytical equations, or some numerical model reflecting the actual situations. However, by definitions, they are slightly different. We shall look into this for you to gain a better idea about this. First is the verifications. It is normally related to the questions. Am I developing the model right? As for the validations, am I building the right model? If you look at the terminology used within the question statement here, developing the model right, it is more related to the right process of developing the model. While if you are talking about building the right model, that means using a correct model to achieve certain tasks. It is more towards the output of the work that you have done. And if you look into the point of view for the verifications and validations, the verifications are normally from the developer point of view, because you are focusing on the process, whether it is done correctly. And if you are talking about the validations, you are talking about the user point of view, which normally users have little understanding or little knowledge and very little participation throughout the development of certain things. As for the verifications, you are to prove that it meets all these specified requirements at a particular stage of its development, which in contrast to the validations, the focus is to ensure the true needs and expectations of an end product are met. In terms of the scope of verifications, you are checking for the style and format, the technical review, the proof of correctness, and consistency check. As for the validations, the checking is more towards to the usability, functionality tests, system tests, user acceptance tests, and etc. Let's say now you are developing something in your research program. You are the developer yourself. Throughout the process of developing, that you want to ensure the reliability of the things that you have developed. What you are actually doing is the verifications of your products. Being the developer, you are looking more into the development process, make sure it fulfills the requirement, consistently produce a good results, which most of the researchers will do. That is the verifications of their products, which can be in the form of analytical model, simulation models, prototypes, algorithm, software and apps, operational systems, and etc. Sometimes you may want to evaluate your things from the user point of view, where your focus now is more to the usability, functionality, or whether the user going to find it friendly and meeting their expectations. Then you may call that evaluation process as the validation process. It is depending on the purpose of those evaluations. You may review your research design for you to decide whether it is verifications or validations. I see most of the cases here, it will be categorized under the verification process because you are more concerned with the process and their fundamental background which the product is on basis of, and whichever that you have developed, be it the model, be it the product. Normally we are concerned with the accuracy as well as the reliability, which is a form of consistency. As you know that most of the research are actually at the exploratory stage. The outcome of the research, no matter how complex the principle is or how sophisticated the product that you have developed, they are still in the most basic form, behaving as a prototype, concentrating on what it is capable of. And most of the time, the ultimate needs of the user are normally not being taken care of. For example, you are developing a system to do some computations. Your concern now is more to the technical aspects as well as the components that made up the system, so that it could yield you the correct result with good consistency. Very little effort that you will put into to make the product looks nicer, more user friendly, more easily to handle, and so on and so forth. Therefore, the product that you are developing will be very rough and might not look attractive. And then your focus of your evaluations, it will be to the verifications. Only when your product is more established, now you are satisfied with everything, knowing the heads and tail of the operations behind the system. Now you would like to market this, therefore you have to reconstruct everything, simplify it, make it user friendly, make it easy to handle, make it looks attractive, and make it applicable under the conditions where the users are going to use it. On that state, we are talking about the validations. I guess after these slides, you have a better idea about verifications and validations. In fact, you can do both, as you're talking about the purpose is different, but I would say most of the case, based on what you do, based on the focus of your evaluations, you are actually doing the verifications, although you use the term validations.